Hey spiritual tribe, welcome in. I thought we would go ahead and do a reading for you today. I'm already getting some cards. We're going to do today about like what is it that your boss thinks of you, and we're going to go ahead and move forward and just jumping in and doing a reading for you. So grab a seat, go grab a coffee, go grab a tea, put this on pause, and when you come back, hit that play button and come on back. Wonderful, we'll get started. Sorry for my fuzzy hair today. I'm having kind of a beautiful but rough hair day today. So anyways, and if you paused it, welcome back. Jeez, can you tell that I'm just a real person? I would love a Hollywood artist to come in and just do my hair before I go on anywhere. That's awesome. Okay, so right off the bat, I am seeing the King of Wands and the Seven of Cups. So in regards to what your boss thinks of you, I'm thinking that your boss thinks that you have a lot of choices available, that you have a lot of energy, or maybe motivation, and you're very ambitious. You're really good at doing a lot of things, maybe even multitasking. You're very good at, you could probably do anything. You could have your pick at anything, and you would be very masterful in the presentation of it, as well as maybe there's a lot of illusions. There's also another opportunity talking about maybe your boss thinks that like where the Eight of Swords would come in and you'd be stuck in your head. This would be more, you have so many options that you may suffer through with the challenge of indecision, and so maybe they see a growth opportunity, but also something that could easily hold you back is not being able to make a decision, because all of these are shiny cups and you have to kind of decide, you know, what is it that you're needing to do. So you're probably more, I don't get the reactionary energy from this. I do see, like from the King of Wands, you're more masterful over like the impulsivity, although you can still have an impulsive nature. Like say like the King of Wands, he probably is not going to check in with his partner to say, hey, are you okay if we spend this out of the budget for XYZ? If he just passes something to his partner and says something even in passing, he's more about action. He's more about doing it and then apologizing later, or if he apologizes at all. But I guess that would be more King of Swords, not apologizing. I'm not seeing a reason why he needs to apologize. So the King of Wands, in my opinion, would be, he sees things, and once he sees the potential in it, then he's got almost like 7 rods in the fire, right? And so they see you juggling a lot. They see you, even though the Ten of Wands is not out here, I do see that they perceive you as having the potential to carry greater responsibility, and that you probably do in the background as well. And maybe that you also load on too much for yourself, and that you probably take on too much, and maybe there's a time management concern that they are worried about you getting burnt out as well. Something about schedules. They're not really sure how you prioritize your time. They're not really sure. It's almost like you're almost too autonomous, that they don't really know if they would be able to kind of like lay down guidelines or a corral for you if you would just slip through their hands and fingers, slip through the fence, slip through the gate. There's a sense of an elusiveness about you, as much as there is like a great sense of pride that you carry in not only yourself and the way that you walk and the way that you you're very regal when you sit. You could have a lot of like fire energy from that Leo, Aries, Sagittarius energy. Very go-getter, very well-traveled, very much like a sense of like, I'm here to take up space. I am here to make sure that, you know, I make an impact, I make an impression, and I'm here to do something, not just sit around. And even though the King of Wands is totally sitting around, but he's watching. He's like watching everything kind of like come to its fruition. He's watching everything starting, and kind of like, okay, I'm waiting for the refining process, but at the same time, I'm not gonna sit here and wait. I'm gonna start something new while those 7 are going. But it almost seems like, even though it's not King of Pentacles, it's almost seeming like, and that's so cool that we're talking about refining, and Wands is a fire sign, and so I love that. maybe you're less patient because the Ten of Pentacles came up in reverse. So maybe they do see you as learning to refine that impulsivity, but maybe there's an impulsive pattern that they've observed about you, whether it's in social interactions or within business. It could be in leadership as well, you know, like if you're trying to climb the ladder or something like that, or if you're like looking for a raise or more like money and monetary status is what I heard. Propriety, something about propriety, that's interesting. So look, we were also just talking about like a need to be patient and a need to not be so impulsive with social interactions. And then we got the King of Pentacles, and I'm taking that as an affirmation for sure. There's a sense of like really learning from your social interactions when they don't turn out to be like an interaction that you because it's in the reverse, right? So if it was all hunky, like all happy-go-lucky, like happy-go-lucky, glorified, beautiful riches and beautiful like everything going your way and beautiful things coming together in the social, it would be upright, but it's in the reverse. So maybe there's family drama, trauma. Maybe family could be within community at work. It could be community in the neighborhood. It could be community and activity, like you play a sport or your kids play a sport or they're in dance or whatever. Like it could be a matter of, even if there's like family divorce or something like that, maybe there's money that was, you know, or real estate or dividends from that, you know. Maybe there's generational wealth, but here it's showing that there's no generational wealth. It's showing that there's a need to have to create your own. And so maybe a lot of those things are being reviewed, and also where your income comes in. It's almost also like a sense of like recognizing, they're almost investigating, like, do you make your own money? Are you, everything that you bring in or everything that you create, is that from everything that you've taught yourself? Are you self-made, or do you lean on other people in your family, like for money basically, or resources, or and how much? And so there's an interesting eye peering into your business with that, but here it's showing me that you like stand on your own 2 feet, and everything that you've earned is your own, like you're self-made. So hopefully that's being recognized in a positive light. It is looking to me like something that they may have assumed about you per conversations or written correspondence, like overhearing things, especially with that Seven of Cups. And the King of Pentacles and the Wands is a very I heard refined, but static energy, which is interesting because I would think static for Pentacles because there's a lot of energy with the fire of the Wands. And so it's like buzzing because it's like not restless, but it is a sense of like active and action and momentum, you know, trying to get that revved momentum. And once you decide upon something, you could have the fire sign in your sun, and then in your first house you could have like a karmic like earth element, but I think it would be paired with something else, whether it be like something mirroring in your first house and your 10th house about relationships and expansion, and probably career too. Career would be a different house, but I think I want to say it's 11. Anyways, okay, I'll double check that. Anyways, look at that. Go back to the drawing board, check your astrology chart. Let's talk about that. You could have some Virgo somewhere as well. You could be a Virgo. This is also throwing you into a sense of introspection. It's also throwing your boss into a sense of introspection. They don't really know who you are as much. That's all, everything that they know about you is from hearsay and the very little that they 10-10 on the clock, which is so interesting. 10-10 is about completion. So if the world was out here, it'd be a cycle completed. But we just saw that in a mirror image, and then I saw 10-20. So that's interesting. Moving forward, the Hermit is literally, so the energy with 10-20 is you're reflecting back in the present. You're reflecting that completed cycle from the past and moving forward like 10 steps and being like, okay, if I was to have the past from where I'm at moving forward, how does that look? And so being able to almost like project yourself you know, at the, like if you moved 10 steps back where you just graduated from, moving the scale, the meter 20 steps ahead, that's where your next goal is. Or, you know, from where you're currently at 10 steps ahead, that's where you are literally taking yourself from, I'm right here, and you're almost projecting yourself to say, okay, like say you have a timeline of like, hey, 6 months or 3 months or whatever, another 3 months I want to be at scale number 20. It took me 6 months to be at scale 10, but I think I figured this part out, so I can in 3 months, in half the time, you know, get to scale 20, and then it's going to be a whole new game, a whole new ball game to get into the next 20. So I don't know what that means. It feels like it's not gonna make sense for anybody, but you might know, so sorry. Let's see, let's do a couple other things. I did have the Lovers come out, so they have the potential to be a fantastic business partner for you and provide that support, and likewise they love your skill set. They love you know, that you are a go-getter, that you have that leadership ability, and that it's not only showing up in one area. So yeah, you're a go-getter. Yeah, King of Wands is also like the Queen of Wands is who's not out here, but you have that very masculine energy. You have those masculine traits in your career, which whether you're man or female, that's very important. But it's also really good that you are reflective in nature as well. Even though the Hermit is actually a 9, I keep thinking of it as a 7 numerology life path number, where you go introspection and you look inward. And so that 7, it's almost like having that balance and not getting too caught up in your head. Oh, 1 2 3 0 on the clock, that's awesome. And so that really does help to balance out that fire, so that you don't burn out and that you don't just blow up in somebody's face, or that your projects do have sustainability, because that's how they do reach the pentacles. And they almost want to see, it's almost as if they see you isolating yourself from people. They don't really see how you incorporate or bring others in toward the success of the evolution of your projects. So they would really like to be able to watch more how you delegate responsibility to creating a team effort, and delegating responsibility to creating that team experience, so everybody can succeed together. So they want to see more of that, but they're not seeing that from you. They're seeing you just kind of doing it all on your own. And what they are seeing is like, hey, as a team, you could be reaching the 10 of Pentacles, but they're seeing you almost like they are seeing you as that King of Pentacles instead. And they're not only shocked that you can do it by yourself, but they're also confused as to why you're not utilizing your team. And to them, there's almost a sense of like distrust, and like, can we trust this person? And is this something that they're going to evolve into? Because if not, they are questioning if you're going to be a good fit long term. So that is also throwing them into the Hermit mode about you, and about the longevity and extending longevity to you, versus like if you just came through like contract or probation or something like that period, they may want to do another short-term period of probation or a temp time, or maybe they'll extend the offer to you, but then create all these like boundaries and corrals and stuff. So just like to be aware of those things. You may feel rather isolated within the Lovers, like this is a great relationship, but you may be taking more of a backseat, and kind of they see you as like like I just talked about backseat, and then the Chariot came up. I'm like, oh, are you in the backseat? That's so interesting. So the yin to the yang. So that's interesting. Hermit, yeah. So there's a lot of like understanding. I'm gonna wrap this up in just a second here, but they want to be able to move forward. They see the potential to be able to move forward. What's the advice on this, Spirit? In light of taking charge, in light of the collective taking charge and not utilizing their community, what's the advice on that? To continue to keep the boss either informed and doing well, thinking well of them and their career. Sorry for the jumpy camera. I'm just in a different space today. Okay, not that one. Okay, do we have advice for them? King of Pentacles, keep nurturing what you've got. Keep nurturing those relationships. You don't have to do it all by yourself. And then we got the Empress, which is all by herself. So continue nurturing those various areas, continue nurturing those multiple projects, continue stepping into those opportunities where, oh, I want to plan this, oh, I want to coordinate that, oh, I'm being asked to do this. Yeah, it's great to do it as a team, but you don't always have to do it as a team. But they are seeing you rise above the competition, and the Empress is like, we have no queens out here. We only have King of Wands, Seven of Cups, and then we have like together, and then we have the King of Pentacles, and then the reverse Ten of Pentacles, which is a little scary at one point. I think also the King of Pentacles and then the reverse Ten of Pentacles, I think you're also masterful in being able to create something beautiful from disharmony in relationships, even if that's not the initial intent. So there may be, I don't want to say chaos in relationships, because the Ten of Pentacles is usually harmony in relationships and like happy marriage and different things like that. Where there is discord, you are conflict resolution masterful. And you may have them recognizing that this is a gift for you, or that you're really good at that. So you may want to look into that for maybe like potential professional development and career advancements, because that could be bringing in really nice money for you. Just got the feeling that someone else is trying to steal that out from underneath you, like presenting an opportunity to, like a situation to you. Like I just had somebody else present an opportunity to me, like a conflict to me. Look, I just got Six of Cups and the World. Yeah, I'm gonna take this as, and then I got the Death in reverse. So let's talk about that. Yeah, somebody is definitely trying to steal an opportunity out from you, especially with conflict resolution or that kind of a job where it's pretty penny. Somebody's not being honest with their leadership and themselves and you about them wanting to get out of the role that they're in, and they're posing as, oh, I've done this for however long they've been in the industry, and they're so tired of, you know, and they're just focusing on, oh, I'm more of a people person, oh, I'm more of this and more of that. 1919, look at that, karmic number for standing up for yourself and leadership and karmic ties. So interesting. Thank you, validation from spirit. And so 1919 English, like that, 20:30 on the clock. How funny. It's just I happen to be looking up and seeing these numbers, guys. So go ahead, and if it resonates for you, it goes a zing, or it makes you excited to know what it is, or you're just curious, like, oh, I wonder what that is. I wonder why she keeps seeing that number. Feel free to look up the meaning and symbolism of that number. It may permit to something that you're interacting with right now. I saw a Ten of Wands just popped out for somebody in reverse. So maybe you're being called to let go of something, and being called to set the proper foundations in your partnerships, but also getting out of your shell, dropping the load of expectation. Also, like any boundaries that are being crossed or not acknowledged. 2112 on the clock. Go ahead and look that number up as well. Fantastic. I love when they mirror each other in reverse like that. I love that. I don't know if there's a name for that. But don't be angry about it. Just set better boundaries and communicate where you feel violated. Why can't people just celebrate each other? It's dumb. But anyways, 2134. That's funny. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2134. So I'm gonna stop looking at that. I hope you enjoyed this reading, and thank you for joining me. I look forward to seeing you in another reading. Thank you. Bye.